The cornerstone for employee wellness policy at this time, of course, is flexibility and understanding that how much resilience we are having around the adaptation, whether it is about ensuring that we are understanding the priorities for people, whether it is mental well-being. So if you ask me, then I think that wellness have no address. The wellness issue can come to anyone. It can come to me, it can come to you and anybody. So I think these are the challenge. So whenever we make any such policy, we have to understand that we always go on the inclusive pattern, which is very important because, when you're working with a diverse workforce, the challenge is you need to understand that one size doesn't fit all. So of course, there are people who come from different ethnicity, different cultural background, and particularly when we are in an evolving landscape like Dubai, we understand that people come from different background, different aspirations, but how we are addressing to their emotional and cultural requirement. And if we are not doing that, I think no policy can be perfect. So of course, we have to take care of the diversity, equity, at the same time the inclusivity, which is very important, and then only a policy can be very rounded. This is really an interesting term which we are speaking nowadays, because we know that it has its own benefit, because it comes people to be very flexible, people can really find their autonomy, but what exactly is the downside? You are always under the fear that you are missing out, and probably you are trying to overperform, and that is where the burnout starts. And people are always getting stressed. They are thinking that I'm really isolated, I don't know what exactly is going on, and at times people are also having lack of communication. So I think that is always the biggest fear. So we have to understand that how we can keep the communication open, how we can make sure that when people are in a hybrid working mode, they are every time being sensitized, they are being contacted, and we really have certain tools, particularly AI tools, which basically are very interesting nowadays, which can keep a tab on your sentiment, on your mood pattern, how actually you are communicating, and all these different syndromes, which are really very human. We should not forget the fact that we are really human beings at the end of the day, and how we really communicate. It can be hybrid, it can be remote, but we should always keep the communication on, make sure that we treat the patterns in a very sensible manner. At the end of the day, it's our wellness which matters, because today if we are really having a well-being, then tomorrow we can be more effective in our work. I recently have been using a software from a company called as PMAPS, which basically helped me to understand the mood swing of the employees, how exactly they are really behaving, particularly what are the different sites they are browsing, how exactly they want to keep themselves engaged, and what are the time they're taking their break. Because most of the time I've seen that people, when they're on a hybrid mode, they always try to be connected, and sometimes they get so much immersed that they don't have a me time. So they always think that I'm always working. And when somebody is saying that my personal life is professional life, I think it's an alarming stage, and you understand that that is when a person is really burning out. Burnout never comes with any intimation, neither it sends you an email that I'm coming. So burnout actually can come at any phase, and I think the best way to understand burnout, when you think that you really are getting too much absorbed in your work and you have started even neglecting your own self and your personal life, and that is where I think it's just a stage before the burnout. So one should really work smartly, take a pause. You should start booking calendar the way you book your meeting. You should also book some time for yourself. How you exactly have a family time, how you're exactly thinking of your kids, how you're thinking of your spouse. And if you're doing that, I think this is the way, a kind of a self-management. And that is where I really become very vocal about emotional intelligence, because not only thinking about yourself, but thinking about the people around you. That is self-management, self-regulation, and also you know how to work out your social relationship. And then only you can execute your empathy. So I think these are the key words which you should be working around, but should not be more into theory, but rather more into practical execution. Let's not over-engineer this concept. Let's keep it very simple. Let's do more of communication, and if required, you do excessive communication, because there should not be any issues when people are on hybrid problem of clarity, because most of the time people assume many things. You have, suppose, appointed a person, but you have not really clearly stated what exactly are your expectations. And the person is just trying to prove himself. And that is why I always say that when a person is hired until the person is fired, which is very unfortunate, we really don't know that how we have been able to engage and map that person to the right thing. So a resource can be retained, a resource can be kept active and engaged only when we know that how exactly you are really trying to communicate, what kind of clarity you are giving, what kind of roadmap you are giving, and set the parameters of your expectation. And if you do that, that should be, I think, enough for your strategy making. There is a famous one-liner of Peter Drucker, which comes in my mind, that culture is strategy for breakfast. So you never know that what kind of culture you're bringing in. So I can give you an example that we are in this wonderful forum, but what is really important is we need to understand that the kind of culture which already prevails in the society, in our workplace, in our home, and what exactly we think about it. So we have to always ensure that the culture always starts from within ourselves, like the famous the quality factor of said by Philip B. Crosby, that quality is very personal. So what I exactly want to get quality in others, I should first try to leave that quality in myself. So if I really do not confirm that quality in myself, how could I expect the same in others? So if I say, for example, that I want to be punctual, I want to come every day, I want to see my workers on time, I have to first make a habit of going on time. If I do that, then I can see the employees are also coming on time. So that should be the kind of a practice. Besides that, we should not be always, hesitant to talk to people, understand. Even at times people can say that, okay, I'm fine, but may not be fine. But, you should really go and check, recheck, rather to assure that you are really getting the genuine statement. And most of the time, it does not come because people have the trust issue. And the second is the confidence issue, because they don't get the confidence, they don't have the trust on you. So that's why they could not open up. And most of the time, these mental issues or what are the wellness issues are never addressed because people are having a fear, and that unknown fear is going to eat up everything and it's going to destroy your culture and everything. So make sure that you have communication, you really talk to people, you give them the confidence, make them feel that I'm there, no matter what, I'm still with you. Time is going to come when people hardly have to go to their office. Their avatars will be going to their office and reporting to their AI, the representatives. So it is not important because you are not really getting counted just for your man-days, but you are getting counted for the contribution you can do. And that's why most of the repetitive tasks are getting replaced by AI. So I think the future is here where you actually start managing your own creativity, and you really would be finding more solace, more tranquility in that. And a time is going to come when people would be doing much better work, what they are doing from now, and we'll be having a more peaceful time.